everybody, I'm Tom and it's time for Tom's Tasty Treats. Today we are going to take the chocolate chip cookie and put a spin on it. We're making s'mores chocolate chip cookies. Have you ever gone camping? If you have, then maybe you've had a s'more. S'mores are graham crackers with chocolate and roasted marshmallows smushed together. They're so good. So we're going to take those flavors and put them into a cookie. Are you ready? This is a recipe that's going to need the help of an adult. So while you're washing your hands and making sure they're nice and clean, you can have your adult preheat the oven to 325 degrees. Let's talk about what we need to make this recipe. You need 2 mixing bowls, a mixer, cookie sheets with either a reusable liner or parchment paper. You need measuring spoons, measuring cups, a spatula, and either a flat spatula or a wooden spoon to stir things up. And if you don't have exactly what I have, that's fine. You just improvise and find something that will work. Let's go over the ingredients we're gonna need. This is a basic chocolate chip cookie. So if you have a recipe you love already, go ahead, use that. But if you wanna use my favorite, here it is. You're gonna need 2 sticks of slightly softened butter, 2 large eggs, a cup of white sugar, a cup of light brown sugar, firmly packed, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and depending on whether you used salted butter or unsalted butter, either a half teaspoon or 1 full teaspoon of salt. You're also gonna need chocolate chips, and you're gonna need some mini marshmallows, maybe about a cup, and 6 graham cracker squares. So let's talk about the steps you'll have to take to make your cookies. First thing you need to do is take a large bowl and add 2 sticks of slightly softened butter. It can be unsalted or salted, whatever you have. Then add 1 cup of white sugar and have your adult use a mixer to cream those together, maybe 1 or 2 minutes until it's nice and light yellow. Once that's done, add 1 cup of firmly packed light brown sugar, mix some more. Now add 2 large eggs. Make sure not to get the shells. Mix it up. And the last step for the wet ingredients is 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And guess what happens now? Mix it up some more. Okay, let's set that aside. And now we're gonna work on our dry ingredients. In a medium bowl, you wanna add 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon baking soda, and then depending on whether you use salted or unsalted butter, you wanna use either half a teaspoon or 1 full teaspoon of salt. Take a wooden spoon and stir those all together, and then we can set that aside. Next, we add our flour into our wet ingredients and use your mixer to mix that together. A little bit more. Mix it, mix it, mix it. And when that's all done, it's time to add our chocolate chips. I usually put about a bag of chocolate chips, and you can use semi-sweet, milk chocolate, dark chocolate, whatever kind you think your mom is gonna like the most. Make sure those chips are all incorporated. That's a fancy word for mixed in. And then we have our cookie dough. All right, now we have our cookie dough, but we need to add the s'mores part. We need to take about 4 squares of graham crackers and break them up into bite-sized pieces. And then we need a cup or so of mini marshmallows, depending on how many you like. Now it's time to assemble our cookies. In order to make them around the same size, I usually use a little ice cream scooper or a melon baller or even a spoon. Scoop out that cookie dough, slightly press them down so they're a little bit flat on top. And then you can add 3 or 4 pieces of graham cracker. And then we'll add 3 or 4 marshmallows to the top of each of those. All right, now our cookies are ready to go into the oven. I cook them for about 10 to 12 minutes, but around 8 minutes, I would start to check on them. Sometimes the cookies don't brown evenly, so you might have to rotate that baking sheet just to make sure they do. Now, cooking time is not an exact science, so your oven might cook a little bit faster than mine, but you'll know they're done when the edges are nice and golden brown and the middle looks set. All right, there we have it. The s'mores chocolate chip cookie. So crispy on the edge and so chewy on the inside, just the way a good cookie should be. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and I hope you come back and join me again for Tom's Tasty Treats. See you next time. Can't wait to eat this.